Tonight on Cougar News, El Nino is on its way. Are you ready for the rain?
Plus, the winter is here, and with it, Candy Cane Lane.
Also, women's volleyball is moving on. Cougar News starts now.
This is Cougar News.
Hello and welcome to Cougar News. I'm Georgia Rios.
And I'm Skylar Barty. Here's the latest from the Cougar Newsroom.
Just 5 days after a mass shooting in Colorado, gunmen opened fire in San Bernardino this morning before at least 2 suspects were shot and killed by police. Officials say 14 people were killed and 17 others were wounded in shooting at the Inland Regional Center. The suspects were believed to be heavily armed and wearing body armor when they entered the conference center. The motive for the shooting is still unknown, but there is a possibility that the shooting was an act of terrorism. Suspects reportedly fled the scene in a black SUV. Police later stopped a similar SUV and a pursuit ensued. A man and a woman were killed and a person of interest was detained after a brief shootout. One of the suspects is identified as Saeed Farouk. Authorities are searching the area for possible explosive devices.
A community college just north of Santa Clarita was shut down yesterday due to a violent threat. Cougar News went out to Lancaster to see how this could affect us locally.
Antelope Valley College was shut down Tuesday after a student made a threat against the school.
These threats that were made first over text message to other AVC students happened what I would say the overnight hours, midnight, 1 a.m. time frame.
I'm actually kind of shocked. I never heard anything like this before, so it puts me at surprise.
Madeja Willis, a future AVC student, was on her way to enroll at the school, but was turned away as she arrived on campus. Diachin says the abundance of caution is thanks to the quick actions of the students who received the threat.
The students did the right thing. They contacted the sheriff's department first. They began their investigation and beefed up the security presence here on campus in the early morning hours.
Instead of the regular traffic jams, students are seeing law enforcement in front of their campus. So what would College of the Canyons do about a situation like this?
We undertook an effort probably about 2 years ago now to implement the incident command system. And so we have 24 people here on campus who have gone through probably 100 hours of training in emergency response.
COC officials are asking students to remain calm and be vigilant, and to report any suspicious activity.
This is a safe campus. We're located in Santa Clarita, which is regarded as one of the safest communities in the nation. Safety and emergency response is an always evolving goal, and we know that's, you can never say you've arrived.
Antelope Valley College was reopened for normal operation as of 6 p.m. Tuesday. Reporting for Cougar News, I'm Austin Westfall.
On the last episode of Cougar News, Cody Taylor and Laura Pickler discussed campus safety. This week, they discussed future safety methods and talked to students about how secure they feel on our campus.
On the last episode of Cougar News, we discussed the safety of the campus of COC. One of the biggest questions we received was what will be done to make the campus even safer.
I will tell you that we do have forming now a sexual assault response treatment team, and we've been meeting with the dean. We've been meeting with safety. We've been meeting with the sheriff, and so we've got several initiatives.
Many campuses across America have taken to arming security guards. I've asked many COC students how they would feel about this practice.
If they're licensed, I don't see the problem, with that. I think it would provide another level of safety and just it's like a less reaction time, instead of actually calling it out and waiting for the right authorities to come here when we already have armed personnel. I think I'd be okay with that, with having security guards being armed.
Well, whatever it would be to protect people, I would say it would be fine.
I'm not sure how I would feel about it. I feel like there's pros and cons to that.
With the new and proposed safety measures at COC, do most students of the school feel safe on campus?
I feel pretty safe here. Sometimes at night it does feel a little sketchy, but during the day I usually feel safe and I'm here with my friends and I'm not usually by myself, so.
I feel pretty safe at this campus, and I don't think I'm not surprised that the crime level is low, because so far in my attendance here it hasn't been alarming. It's been pretty safe.
As of right now, or this semester, it's pretty much just felt like I felt safe.
For Cougar News, this has been Cody's Halo and Loa Picleo.
No, Georgia.
Last weekend, 2 suspects were arrested in connection with a string of robberies. The first robbery occurred Friday at a Subway on Dickinson Drive. Those robberies are linked to a separate robbery at a Chevron gas station on Bouquet Canyon Road. A 7-Eleven store on Newhall Ranch Road was also robbed. The bandits made off with approximately $30. Sheriff deputies caught the suspects on the 5 freeway near Hasley Canyon Road. The robberies are still under investigation.
In one of the strangest things to happen to Santa Clarita in recent history, a portion of Vasquez Canyon Road had buckled upwards, rendering it completely unusable. Cougar News reporter Sean Nichols takes a look at the initial aftermath.
This is Vasquez Canyon, Thursday, November 19th. 24 hours later, this is what it looked like. And this is now. Some people have expressed concern about the condition of the road.
This happened pretty darn quick.
Scary.
I mean, it was okay one day, and the next day it was like this. This all happened like in, because I was monitoring, and this all happened like in a 48-hour period, which is I find quite surprising. Huh?
It's scary.
Yeah, no kidding, huh? But still, some had their own ideas about visiting.
A lot of our friends we kind of come from a photo community, so whenever they hear about a certain spot or see anything cool, a lot of people tend to like jump on it. They post pictures about it, and then like they tag people, and then it's kind of like a grapevine. You just see it on Instagram, or you see it wherever you see it, whether it's an article or a picture, and then it's like, oh, where's that at? Google it, and then we found the spot. We had a couple friends come out too, so they kind of helped steer us in the right direction on how to get here.
Some just brought their boards. Reporting from Vasquez Canyon for Cougar News, I'm Sean Nichols.
Stress level rises as important essays and are due and final test dates arrive. Not to mention that the holidays can take its own toll. Too often, stress may cause someone to take their own life. Sammy Giebers explored what College of the Canyons can do to help.
As the holidays and finals approach, many students are feeling the pressure.
It's like the hardest time of the year, especially since you got all the shopping, everything's going crazy, and then you got finals on top of that. It's impossible to stay organized.
I think people stress more because they're worried about their schooling, but also aside they don't want to exclude themselves from the holiday season.
On top of the upcoming finals week, students have other things on their mind.
You have to work longer hours usually, and then the customers, if you work with people, they're a lot more stressed out and they just take it out on you.
Being a community college, if this is an acceptable generalization, I think a lot of us do struggle with financial issues.
Sadly, some find that coping with the stress from school, family, and relationships is too much to bear.
Well, we know that there's 1,100 students each year on college campuses across the country that take their lives, and that's a lot. We also know that just this fall we had 3 students that were recent or current students take their life. So we really want to be sure that students know there's resources here for them to be able to come here and talk about whatever's going on.
COC offers many programs to help alleviate stress, including meditation sessions and pause for a while. Personal counseling is available for students to be able to talk about any problems that need to be heard. Research has shown that talking about issues, even if it is just with your friends, alleviates stress.
It's really important to listen non-judgmentally, to make time for your friends. One of the most important things you can do for stress and anxiety and any kinds of mental health problems is to hang out with your friends, to do stuff with your friends.
Just being with somebody that can really understand you on a fundamental level, that's something that can prove invaluable.
For immediate help, the Health and Wellness Center encourages students to call the suicide hotline. Also, drop by the Student Health and Wellness Center for more information on personal counseling. I'm Sammy Giebers reporting for Cougar News.
The National Weather Service says Southern California will most likely have a wetter than average winter. Austin Westfall brings us the story about the severe weather anomaly we've all been hearing about.
El Nino.
El Nino.
El Nino, back and with a vengeance.
Forecasters are using the words Godzilla and mayhem to describe this year's El Nino.
El Nino gets tossed around a lot nowadays. But what is it exactly?
El Nino is a warm, it usually pulls the jet stream and moves it to more of a pineapple express. That's why they're predicting the rains that you've been hearing over the local news.
This Pineapple Express phenomenon brings the threat of harsh weather conditions to Santa Clarita, prompting the city to reach out to the public about staying safe.
So what we're asking is, making sure people go in their backyard. They're making sure it's landscaped. They have areas that aren't just patches of dirt on a slope, because those are, privy to mudslides.
Mudslides like the ones seen earlier this year, when heavy rain hit the Lake Hughes area just north of Santa Clarita, resulting in severe floods which damaged property, shut down roads, and according to Devlovich, may have even caused the landslide that destroyed Vasquez Canyon Road.
So is the catastrophe here at Vasquez Canyon Road a precursor to what we might see during an El Nino season?
In Vasquez, the interesting thing is that the tilt of the actual structure of that Mint Canyon formation is close to the tilt of the side of the canyon wall. And whenever that happens, it takes less water to cause it to fail. That's why I suspect, my theory was that it had to do with that event.
Now with El Nino looming, city officials have begun their own preparation efforts.
So what we're doing is, we're clearing the storm drains. We're making sure all of our trees are pruned so they don't hold that water and, can create a safety concern.
McKenna emphasizes that areas affected by the Cal Grove fire are at the highest risk for landslide and encourages residents in that area to sign up for the city's emergency text alerts. Additionally, free sandbags are available at local fire stations to keep the water away from you.
It helps when, everybody in the community can be aware of what they can do, what their part is, drive safely, be aware of their surroundings, and pay attention to signage regarding flooding, and just be aware of their safety.
El Nino.
El Nino.
El Nino.
El Nino conditions could start as soon as this month. Information about text alerts and other relevant resources can be found on Santa Clarita's preparation website. For Cougar News, I'm Austin Westfall.
The National Weather Service says El Nino will not fix California's 4-year drought, but it will make a dent.
This past Sunday marked the 2-year anniversary of the tragic accident that killed actor Paul Walker and his good friend and driver Roger Rodas. And now, after 2 years of near silence, Rodas' wife Christine has broken her silence, defending her late husband over Facebook. I have chosen to remain private as my children and myself needed time to grieve and survive the impact of such a devastating and public tragedy. What can really be said? Anyone with an ounce of heart or compassion know that we were broken. She goes on to say, I knew Roger. I knew him for 23 years. He was a good driver. He knew how to drive. He knew that car. He knew that road. I am standing behind my husband. I hired the best investigators in the country because I know in my heart that he did not let that car get away from him. It broke.
COC has gained recognition and received an award for a program that they developed 5 years ago. Cougar News reporter Jazz Pyatt has more information.
This semester, College of the Canyons received recognition from the California Community College Chancellor's Office. COC was a recipient of the 2015 Student Success Award in regards to the college's accelerated learning courses, which include Math 75 and English 96.
It is an honor in the sense that it was cited as one of the 2 best programs in the state. So in that way, it's an award. But how we look at it internally, and I know how our chancellor views this, is it's an opportunity because it's an amazing program that the math and English departments have done. It's a chance for us to make sure other people know about it.
It's meant to be more engaging and more supportive of students and really help them to learn the material in accelerated format. Because it's one thing to say, just speed things up and shift it over, but it's another thing to say, let's build content that's going to really be a scaffold for these students in order to help them be prepared for the next level adequately. And so for that reason, I think students have been successful in these courses, even though they're accelerated formats.
Once the departments realized how many students we lose by having 4 levels below transfer level, you start with 1,000 and you end up with 60. When you lose that many, if you have to start 4 levels below, we got to do it differently. And so we created a new path, and our new path the most you can be if you're non-science major, non-business major, is 2 levels. Well, that's going to change dramatically. We learn some things along the way. If you make courses more intense, students do better. You teach 8-week classes, they take 8 weeks, they do better in 8-week classes than 16-week classes. If you make them think really hard and work really hard, they actually do better.
While these courses are more rigorous than your average class, the benefits have proven to outweigh the costs.
The students save money. They save a year or 2, and every year they saves them a lot of money. It makes them money because they get out on the job market earlier.
I'm Jazz Pyatt for Cougar News.
And now we're here with Brooke Lohman for What's Trending. How are you, Brooke?
I'm great. How are you?
Doing just fine.
Can you tell us a little bit about what happened with the United Nations this past week?
Yes, of course. The United Nations meeting in Paris continues as 30,000 diplomats and delegates work together to make a plan to reduce global warming. The delegates say they plan to help this climate change by reducing the release of greenhouse gases and lowering carbon footprints. The 21st conference of the parties will last until December 11th, when they plan to have a universal agreement on climate change. An anonymous group of hackers have been working together to bring down ISIS. This group of hackers call themselves the Ghost Security Group, and although they are not well known to the public, they are said to have a track record. The leader of the group, who goes by Digit a Shadow, says Ghost Security has taken down 149 Islamic State propaganda sites, 110,000 social media accounts, and over 6,000 propaganda videos since it formed. The group says they have been working with the U.S. government and they will continue to relay any information they find. Now, have you seen the most epic selfie that has spread across the internet? That's right, 2 brothers, Michael and Neil Fletcher, rescued and released a wild bald eagle that they found caught in a trap when they were hunting with their dog. The 2 brothers say the eagle was attached to a stake when they found it. After a while, they got the eagle loose, but before releasing him, they snapped one memorable photo. And that's what's trending. I'm Brooke Lohman. For more stories in and around the Santa Clarita Valley, you can check us out at cougarnews.com. Back to you.
Coming up on Cougar News, Adele is taking over.
Plus, what's wintertime without Christmas movies? Stay tuned.
Art is life. Art is love. Art is patience.
The planned Newhall Ranch housing development, just west of Magic Mountain, received a major blow this week. On Monday, the California Supreme Court rejected a 5,828-page environmental impact report. They say the report fails to conclude that the development would not significantly affect greenhouse gas emissions. The court also said the report illegally allows for the capture and relocation of the unarmored 3-spine stickleback, an endangered freshwater fish. Newhall Ranch would bring thousands of new homes, new businesses, and new recreational centers to the Santa Clarita Valley. The project is not completely dead, however, just set back, possibly adding years to the project.
Around 500 residents stopped by to engage in a little holiday cheer early this year as Thanksgiving dinner was brought to the city of Newhall several days before Thanksgiving.
SCV residents were reminded of the thanks behind Thanksgiving as many dined together for an early holiday feast Monday evening.
Hi, I'm Aaron Lanuza with SCV TV, and we're at the Newhall Community Center, where Parkway Motors and Santa Clarita are putting on their annual Thanksgiving feast.
Each year, the feast brings around 500 people to the community center, and this year was no exception. As the piano played in the background, hundreds listened in as Parkway Motors representatives and SCV volunteers served food and passed out Thanksgiving meals to the kids.
All the different events that we hold here, they really bring all these families together. They get to know the programming the city offers here in Newhall, and we end up welcoming them to our programs.
I'm here with Rafael Granados, and he is volunteering his time to be here tonight and help serve the community treats.
Yeah, I'm just helping because I care about the community. I like people, I like helping out, it's just fun.
And there to enjoy good food with loved ones was Rudy and Tommy May, local patrons to the SCV Senior Center.
What are you thankful for?
Oh, what am I thankful? I'm thankful for her.
They danced together, laughed together, and on this Thanksgiving dinner are sharing thanks together. A couple with more pep than I could keep up with.
So you see at 84, I don't look like it. I don't feel like it. I will not be looking like it.
Well, you guys look like a young, happy couple.
Yeah.
Right behind me are the Silvertones from the Santa Clarita Senior Center, and they gave me a chance to sing with them. It's not great, but I got a chance. From the Newhall Community Center, I'm Aaron Lanuza with SCV TV.
The Valencia Ice Station brought the snow to Santa Clarita. Reporter Ariel Thompson has the story.
Locals planned for a fun day in the snow in Santa Clarita. The Valencia Ice Station had its annual snow day where kids ditch the ice skates and grab their sneakers.
It's our family snow days where we allow kids to play in snow on our one rink in tennis shoes. They can ice skate on our other rink, and it's just a fun family holiday event.
While some of the kids thought the snow was the main event, they were surprised by a special visitor. Frosty the Snowman even showed up to play with the kids.
We're really excited. I don't think that neither of them have seen snow. He's 3 years old, a year and a half. They're really enjoying it.
Families are already thinking about coming back next year. For Cougar News, I'm Ariel Thompson.
Hundreds gathered at the Antelope Valley Fairgrounds for a weekend getaway at the Lancaster Gun Show and Outdoor Expo. The event had numerous vendors that visitors could ask questions concerning the guns, knives, tasers, and outdoor camping gear. Visitors could also buy ammunition along with weaponry. Visitors had also the opportunity to test out which guns they liked most. The assortment of armory extended from handguns to rifles and pistols and a wide range of brands, sizes, and colors. The event attracted visitors from all over, including Santa Clarita, Tehachapi, and Ventura County. The expo had a great turnout, and they plan to continue this event for years to come. For more events like this, you can search Glendale Gun Shows of California and check out the dates for upcoming events.
And now we welcome Sammy Giebers with entertainment. How are you?
I'm doing good. There's a lot going on this season. Let me tell you what's been happening. COC's art gallery exhibits The In-Between by artist Trina Churchill. The exhibition is described by the artist as a bit dreamlike and a bit real world. It is best described as a narrative, says Larry Hurst, COC art gallery director, and yet there's a mystery that remains. Be sure to catch the exhibit in Mentry Hall before it ends on December 16th. Also, don't miss the Artist Talk tomorrow from 2 to 3 p.m. to hear what Trina Churchill has to say about her work. Adele's 25 has sold 3.4 million records in its first week of release. Now the number of copies has risen to 4 million in just 10 days. It was projected that the record would hit the 2.5 million mark, but it has well surpassed that milestone. 25 is the only album to ever cross the 3 million mark in its first week sales since Nielsen SoundScan started tracking album sales in 1991. In just 4 days of release, 25 broke the previous record set by NSYNC's No Strings Attached. Adele's album is the best-selling album of this year so far, beating out Taylor Swift's 1989. Adele's music video Hello, which was released on October 2nd, currently has 560 million views. Still looking for a way to get into the holiday spirit? Canyon Theater Guild had their opening night on Friday for their musical A Christmas Carol. The theater company's first show, having a full house and sold out tickets, went successfully. Come on a journey and join Ebenezer Scrooge to find out the true meaning of Christmas. The show closes on December 21st. For more information, go to the Canyon Theater Guild's website or call the box office at 661-799-2707. With the year rapidly coming to a close, Hollywood has given fans several presents to look forward to, including the release of the biggest movie of the year, Star Wars. But besides that, there are several other outstanding films to look forward to. Here's David Caduto to tell you more.
With the end of the year rapidly approaching and the holidays upon us, it seems as though Hollywood has left the best for last. Some of the year's most anticipated movies will be happening between now and then, the biggest of them all being Star Wars: The Force Awakens. This film has been nearly 2 years in the making from beginning to finish and is set to be released December 18th. With Christmas falling on a Friday this year, 4 outstanding films will be hitting theaters. The first being Concussion, starring Will Smith. It tells the story about Dr. Benin Amalu, who discovered CTE, or chronic traumatic encephalopathy, a football-related trauma which is caused after repeated blows to the head.
Tell the truth. Tell the truth.
Next is Joy, starring Jennifer Lawrence and Bradley Cooper. This is the 3rd time that they've teamed together, and every time it seems to produce outstanding results. Will it continue? Directed by David O. Russell, it tells the tale of a family over 4 generations and how one woman rose up to be the matriarch.
Never speak on my behalf about my business again.
Keeping on the theme of dramas, 2-time Academy Award winner Quentin Tarantino returns with his latest film, The Hateful Eight. The film is set in post-Civil War Wyoming, where bounty hunters try to find shelter during a blizzard and get caught up in a plot of betrayal and deception. Will they survive? Finally, if you're looking for action, then Point Break is the film for you. This is the remake of the 1991 classic starring Keanu Reeves and Patrick Swayze. The new version features more action and death-defying stunts and is sure to be a hit. With so many movies to look forward to, how can you go wrong? I will see you at the theaters. This is David Caduto for Cougar News.
Be sure to log on to Cougar News to read an article by David Caduto about the new Batman vs. Superman trailer. Thank you so much for having me, and I'll leave you guys to it.
Thank you so much, Sammy.
Going on their 21st year, homeowners on the Santa Clarita's Wakefield Court have once again designed, dazzled, and delivered their annual Christmas light decorations. Originating after the earthquake in 1994, neighbors came together to help one another with damage control, as well as during the holidays, string lights from house to house as a symbol of unity and for enjoyment to the community. Now known as Winter Wakefield or Candy Cane Lane to the locals, this neighborhood doesn't just put on incredible light features, but also collects donations for the Toys for Tots program, as well as the local homeless shelter. Wakefield Court will continue to light up their street every night from 5 to 10 p.m. until New Year's Eve.
Still to come on Cougar News, women's volleyball has knocked off the #1 seed.
Also, 20 years seems to be enough for Kobe Bryant. Stay tuned.
Art is life. Art is love. Art is patience.
A locally beloved Christmas tree lot opened for business last week. Cougar News took a trip to Nancy's Ranch to speak with some of its very loyal customers.
With Thanksgiving over, families are getting ready for another big holiday.
The spirit of Christmas, that's why we're here.
Nancy's Ranch opened its Christmas tree farm Friday, offering local residents a chance to get in the Christmas spirit.
Every Christmas I bring in trees from Washington, up in the mountains of Washington. I got the same supplier for 17 years.
In fact, during my visit, a truckload of trees was being unloaded and it was full of snow.
We're all kind of freezing to death while we're unloading this truck.
Nancy's Ranch has been in business for 35 years, and still, families from around the valley come and search for the perfect tree.
It needs to be like really tall. It has to be skinny.
Has to be some space to put some ornaments.
It's got to stand up straight.
It has to have a nice tip.
Finding the perfect tree is hard, but with over 1,500 on the lot, there are all kinds of trees that fit all kinds of tastes.
Can you describe the perfect Christmas tree to you?
A big or a little Christmas tree.
The largest tree on the lot is 14 feet tall, while the smallest is 2 feet tall. And prices range from $18 to $439. Coupons can be found on the ranch's website. For Cougar News, I'm Austin Westfall.
And we have Alexis Williams for our sports segment.
Yeah, there's a lot going on in the professional, local, and college level. Let me tell you about it. Longtime Laker great Kobe Bryant has announced that this season, his 20th season in the NBA, will be his last. After 20 years as a Los Angeles Laker, Kobe Bryant announced Sunday night that he will be retiring from basketball at the season's end. In true Kobe Bryant fashion, he overshadowed the NFL on Sunday night by releasing a statement through the Players' Tribune, which was poetic to say the least. "You gave a 6-year-old boy his Laker dream, and I'll always love you for it. But I can't love you obsessively for much longer. This season is all I have left to give. My heart can take the pounding, my mind can handle the grind, but my body knows that it's time to say goodbye." Kobe has received tons of praise from fans, players, and former teammates, even receiving a truly heartwarming open letter from a Boston Celtics fan. No matter who your favorite team is, you can't deny the fact that Kobe will forever be remembered as one of the best. What a year it has been for COC women's volleyball. Not only did they cruise to a conference level title, but now they're chasing something even bigger. Last night they clinched a spot in the Final Four of the CCCAA State Finals, beating the number 1 seeded Santa Barbara City College on the road in 3-1. All-American outside hitter Emily Bible had 20 kills and 13 digs. The state finals will take place December 5th and 6th at College of the Canyons. The Cougars' first game will be Saturday at 4:30 against Cabrillo. Cross-country season is officially over in the Santa Clarita Valley, but not before the Saugus girls team won their 9th CIF Division II state title. Over the past decade, Saugus Cross Country has brought home a championship plaque every season. They are only the second school in state history to achieve this honor. Valencia transfer Kaylee Thompson crossed the finish line first for the Centurions, finishing the 5K course in 17 minutes and 52 seconds. West Ranch boys cross country finished 7th at their first state meet in school history, and individually, Golden Valley senior Bianca Tinoco finished 29th. Many Santa Clarita athletes finished their college football season this past weekend. Canyon graduate and now Colorado Buffalo, Cade Apse, started his second career game behind center. He finished 8 for 18 on 145 yards with 2 interceptions and 1 touchdown before being taken out of the game with a concussion. Another Canyon graduate and Minnesota Gopher Jr., Drew Wolotarski, scored his 3rd touchdown of the season. Quarterback Mitch Leidner found Wolotarski late in the 4th quarter for a 10-yard pass. He was able to avoid defenders and find the end zone, but his touchdown would not be enough. The Gophers went on to lose to Wisconsin 31-21. Wolotarski finished the game with 44 receiving yards and 1 touchdown. COC's men's cross-country runner Ethan Walker returned home from the CCCAA State Championship victorious. He ran 4 miles in 20 minutes and 9 seconds to win the individual state championship. This is only the 2nd time in school history that this has happened. Walker helped the Cougars finish in 3rd place at the statewide meet among 28 schools. Soccer preseason is now in full swing for the Hart High School Indians. The boys soccer team will have a lot to live up to after coming off their best season in school history. I talked to their head coach, Adonai Hovel, and team captain, Niall Shaffrey, about what we can expect to see from their team this season.
Last year, Hart's Boys Soccer won the Foothill League, allowed 8 goals in 31 games, and were runners-up at the CIF Division II Soccer Finals. With such success, Indians head coach Adonai Hovel knows there's a target on their back.
Every team wants to beat us. Every team, raises the standards of soccer when they come and play us. It's tough for us. There's always someone that comes and gives you a problem. Whether it's a good team or bad, it doesn't matter who it is. They normally come to beat us.
This season, they will have a lot of expectations to live up to, but we'll run into problems with the loss of 2 key center backs.
To fill the spots because we don't have a lot of center backs. The spots that we lost are Anthony and Drew. Those are big players. We're always going to face obstacles and we got to deal with it.
Senior captain Niall Shaffrey knows his team is willing to face those obstacles.
I think we're up for the challenge and anything that comes our way. This year we're going to have some younger players step in. We're going to have some sophomores and juniors that'll need to step up and replace the roles of like Anthony and Drew, who will be absent.
Moving forward into the preseason, it is clear what the goal is for the Hart Indians.
We want to get, organized, play good soccer, and try to get into playoffs. That's the most important thing.
Try to go 10-0 in the regular season this year, and also to finally capture that CIF ring that we never were able to.
The Indians cannot only rely on their backline this season. They have to come together as a team if they want to return to the CIF Finals. For Cougar News, I'm Alexis Williams.
The Indians' next preseason game is home on Friday at 3:15. They will look to defend their Foothill League title beginning on January 8th against Saugus. That's all for Cougar News Sports. I'm Alexis Williams. Now back to you guys.
COC's Canyon Country campus may not be as well known for its on-campus activities as its Valencia cousin, but yesterday the American Red Cross hosted their last blood drive of the semester at the second campus. They brought their portable blood donation station, which is located on a bus. The whole blood donation process takes about 45 minutes and includes a questionnaire, finger prick, and a mini physical. The donor ends up only having the needle in their arm for no more than 10 minutes total. You can speed up the process by filling out all the necessary questions online beforehand on the Red Cross website.
I usually donate every year, ever since high school, and I've carried it on until college. And I donate to American Red Cross because I know that they're a great organization.
For more information on the upcoming blood drive, you can check out www.redcross.com.
Former vice presidential nominee Sarah Palin will be in the Santa Clarita Valley this weekend as part of her national Sweet Freedom book tour. Palin's new book, which explores faith and freedom through 260 meditations based on biblical verses, was released last month. She will be at the Oak Tree Gun Club on Coltrane Avenue from 11 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. this Saturday, signing copies. Books will be available for purchase. No personal cameras are allowed, but there will be a professional photographer on hand, and those photos will be free. That does it for this edition of Cougar News. I'm Georgia Rios. Remember, you can catch us on the web at cougarnews.com.
And I'm Skylar Barty. Remember, you can send us news tips and story ideas to our Twitter handle, COC_Cougar News. Have a good night, everybody.